Hello. So I just wanted to do a quick video about today. I'll try and keep this one quick. In the script for Paz, there was right from in the early drafts, there was this character called Helen Azimova, who's a lecturer who, or a PhD student she turned into later. But she's a character who, she's sort of the exposition character, where she comes in and explains what's going on in a kind of abstract way. At the same time, kind of prompts a change in Paz. She's written this paper about online profiles, the implications of fake profiles and interesting things that could happen as a result of those. So the first thing was that I wanted to actually have a paper written, so that this is an actual thing that you can check out, and I'll put the link to it in the description. So my friend Geraint, who has been working on this with me from the beginning and has a PhD and is very clever, agreed to write the paper, which he did, and so that's now published. You can read it. So the idea is that the people watching the web series can find it, so when Paz mentions it they can go and check it out as well. So that was one part of it, and then there was the casting this character and filming the scene, which is what I did today. So I'd written her as a transgender woman for a few reasons. I mean, partly because I'd had this character of a transgender professor in my head from an earlier script that hadn't gone anywhere, and so I was like, I quite often do that. I think a lot of writers do, where you kind of go, I need a character to do this. Oh, I wonder if that character that was interesting in that thing would fit, and it was definitely a good fit here because I wanted this character to be a complete contrast to Paz. I wanted it to be someone who is completely confident with who they are, and as opposed to Paz, who's sort of at this stage in the script is a bit of a mess and a bit conflicted about who she is, because there are so many lies now in her kind of world, in her online world, that like she's kind of losing touch with who the real Paz is. And then she meets this person who is completely open and honest and sort of physically embodies their identity, I suppose. And because of that, I really wanted to cast a transgender actress to do in the role. I'd come across Jordan Gray, she's trans, but she's a singer, and she was on Scroobius Pip's podcast, which I've listened to a lot. And at that point, I can't remember when I sort of made the connection, but I don't think it was when I listened to it, but it was at some point, because it comes across as very kind of intellectual, which is exactly what this character needed to be. So eventually, at some point, I kind of made that connection, and I went to send her a message, and on Twitter, the week I went to send her a message, she was just about to go on The Voice. I almost didn't get in touch with her at all, because I kind of thought, it's going to be on this big BBC show, and I'm like making a weird little web series in my shed. She's probably not going to want to do it. But she actually did want to do it. Yeah, long story short. So we sort of exchanged a few messages, and I spoke to her on the phone, and some months later we get to this point where we're filming in my brother's flat. So we filmed in my brother's flat because I wanted to, the only reason we filmed there, I mean, I needed a different space obviously, and I wanted to do it somewhere that was accessible for her. It was always written, I mean, it kind of now feels like a bit of a, like I was cheating it, but it was always written as a Skype call. I think because of where Paz is in the story at this point, it just felt like she was more kind of isolated and lonely and wouldn't be going to see someone or have someone coming to her. It's always written in the script as a Skype call. So yeah, basically what we filmed today was the nothing over side of it. It's just Jordan's part, and it went really well. It was sort of, so yeah, I did it on my own. Spent a lot of time trying to figure out where to film it. Like, my brother lives in this quite posh flat near Victoria Waters at the moment, he's moving out in. Yeah, so it's this huge posh flat. So I saw this amazing fireplace. I was like, oh, I'll get that in the background, because I'm thinking visually, like, oh, you've got to have cool stuff in the background. And then I was like, the character's a PhD student. She's only recently finished a PhD. She's not going to be living in this huge London flat. So I was like, fine, scrap that idea. Tried to film it with a desk in the background, because I was like, oh, she does work at this desk. And then I was like, well, no, because this is supposed to be on Skype, so she'd be, I mean, we're kind of cheating it, it looks pretty in the Skype, but like, yeah, can't have the desk in the background, because that she'd be sitting at the desk. So then, like, just got some bookshelves in, and my brother has no books. He does have books, actually, reason more than I do, but he doesn't have that many books around, so I had to fill up these empty shelves with a few books. Anyway, yeah, and it went really well, and Jordan was really good, and I think we got everything we needed. And it's a bit weird to have the only bit that was tough was because Cheryl couldn't be there. I was doing her part, which was fine because I wanted to be a bit more conversational, so I did a version of just the script, and I did a version sort of Jordan improvising, but I can't. I mean, I try my best. It's weird. You'd think, being a writer and knowing the character, you'd think I would be able to go, oh yes, and the character would, I would be able to somehow inhabit the character like the actors do. But it's such a different discipline. I don't write like that, really. I sort of writing to me is very kind of technical, and it's about the flow of things and about the sort of saying things with the right words and stuff like that. It's not the first draft, I think. So you can have moments writing a first draft where you're trying to get inside the characters' heads and work out what they would say, and that's, I do that. I think you do that a bit, but I don't think it is that similar to acting, really, and I can't act. So we tried to improvise around it at the end, and I just couldn't. I can only go off the script, so that didn't work out too well. But it definitely got what we needed, and then it'd be really cool when we filmed the Cheryl's side of it as well, and put them both together. I think it'll be really interesting. I was really happy with it. There were a couple of concepts that will be in the paper, actually, if you want to read that. But that I think, there are things that have been discussed before in the world, but not in the context of online stuff. And I think there's some really interesting ideas that this character has that we talk about in this video. So this wasn't short at all in the end. Thank you for watching. This episode that I'm talking about probably won't be on there for a few weeks, but there's some interesting stuff coming up, so take a look.